Welcome to Psychology of the Daf. We are in Gemara Pesachim Daf Mem. The Gemara mentions a popular saying of the time. They say, Lech lech amrinen nizira, sechor schor lekarma lo sikrav. Go around, and do not approach the vineyard, they say to the Nazirite. Now this adage is used countless times in halachic literature to support the importance of creating safety nets around a prohibited item. Just as a Nazir is advised to stay away from the vineyard, even if he does not drink the wine, so too a person should take extra caution and keep distance from what is forbidden. The problem with this adage is there is no such literal halacha or recommendation. There's nothing wrong with a Nazir going into a vineyard. Interestingly, the Rambam in Mishnah Torah Hilchos Nazir, chapter 5, article 10, he cites a rabbinic prohibition to enter a place where people are gathered to drink wine for the Nazir. There is no explicit mention in the Gemara of this. But Kesef Mishnah indicates this adage of we tell the Nazir to go around the vineyard as the source. Regardless, there is no prohibition whatsoever against a Nazir entering a vineyard. Clearly, then, the standard is metaphorical, the statement is metaphorical. So what is the source of this idea? Why not just cite what it says in Pirkei Avos, in the first Mishnah in Pirkei Avos, Asu siyag l'Torah, make a fence around the Torah. Also, the phrase itself is very difficult to parse. Let's take a look at it word for word. Lech lech, go, right? By the way, Sefaria and some other places, I think, mistranslated, or misvowelize it as lech lecha, because they use an artificial intelligence to do the vowelization, and it's obviously not lech lecha, it's lech lech, go, surely go, Nazir. And then it says, Amrina Nazira. Now, Amrina Nazira means we say Nazir. From the feel of the phrase, it should be Amrina Lenazira. We should say to the Nazir. Go, we say to the Nazir. But that is not the phrase in the Gemara. It's Amrina Nazira. And there are a number of Rishonim, actually, that seem to have sometimes Amrina Lenazira. However, the majority text is Amrina Nazira. So maybe we mean to say, Lech lech Amrina Nazira. Go, O Nazir, we say to you. Maybe that's the correct translation. But in any case, the meaning would seem to be the same. And once again, where does this phrase come from? It's not literal. We don't know of a prohibition. Even that Rambam is really without a makar except for this phrase. So let's understand the verses by Nazir itself in Numbers chapter 6, verse 3, because from there we could see what I believe to be the source of this saying. In the verses, it actually mentions 4 different prohibitions for the Nazir in terms of grape products. So it says, Miyayim v'sheichar, from wine and any other intoxicant, chometz yain v'chometz sheichar, vinegar wine or some other vinegar intoxicant made from grapes. Then it says, Chomishras anovim, neither anything in which grapes have been steeped or maybe food that have been steeped in grape juice, depending on how you learn the halacha there. And finally, it says, anovim lachem v'yaveshim lo yochal. He should not eat grapes fresh or dried. So the prohibitions go in order of severity. First, actual wine is forbidden. Then some kind of vinegar wine, then something soaked in grapes or wine, and then finally the grapes themselves. Now the final category is not even intoxicating, and yet the Torah is still forbidding the Nazir from eating grapes. Presumably the reason is because there's an extra safeguard to keep the Nazir away from temptation. Therefore we see a situation where the Torah is building in a safeguard, implying that such safeguards are virtuous. Given this, it is really as if the Torah is metaphorically instructing the Nazir to stay away from the vineyard. And so the concept of creating a fence around the Torah, while rabbinic, seems to have a source in biblical laws as well.